Today we are going to use this bond and play in member worlds for 14 days with the goal of maintaining bonds on the account. I'm playing on the account that I use for the free to play to bond video, so it's pretty much a brand new account. I will be using a lot of different methods, but one thing I won't use is flipping items, as it can be very unpredictable and complicated for new players. Also, I will only be using methods that give you some form of XP on the account, so you aren't going to end up using boring shopping methods. And on top of that, I will only allow myself to play a few hours a day to keep it more realistic. The point of this challenge is to maintain bonds while also progressing your account. With this in mind, let's use the old school Runescape bond and start the members journey. Starting off with a little bit of thieving because we're going to need it later. And I decided to do X marks the spot quest and use the lamp on thieving to speed up the early thieving a little bit. And that got us 6 thieving. And I made my way over to Artie to steal some cakes. I'm going to get 15 thieving and I'm going to bank all the cakes and sell it later for the first bit of starter GP. And there we go, there's 15 thieving. With that level we can do ham members in the future. Maybe if we want to hunt some clue scrolls. And we banked 83 cakes, which should be enough for the starter GP. And when you make a new account, you should always focus on early agility levels, because it makes the run energy restoration a lot faster. So we got 10 agility at the gnome place, 20 agility in Draenor village, and we started collecting some marks. We went to All Grid next and got level 26. I then sold the cakes that we got from Artie earlier for some GP, and I bought summer pies with that money. With the summer pies you can boost 5 agility, and with the 5+ boost I can do the Verf course early on and get some faster XP per hour, save a little bit of time. We got 30 agility, which is a pretty nice level early on. But I decided to stay a little longer to get to the 20 marks of grace. Because you can trade these in for Amylase crystals and they are worth a lot. So you can basically train agility, get some nice account progress and also make a little bit of money in the process. So we bought 2 Amylase crystal packs and that's worth over 120k. And there we go, we got the first 100k on the account, we got some agility levels as well, very nice. My goal with this account is to not make the most amount of money in 14 days, but make money and also get the account going, get some really good progress for the future. You don't want to do nothing but money making early on and not progress the account, because if you progress your account you can make money a lot faster in the future. So you kind of want to find a nice balance and that's what I'm going to focus on. We have a little bit of basic GP now, it's time to buy some runes and go on a little bit of a quest spree. We completed the Witch's House quest for some hit points levels. We will be completing Lost City later on for another plan I have, and with that you can use dragon longswords and daggers. And if you want to take care of your own dragon longsword, use Manscaped, today's video sponsor. I just received the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped. This package is the world's first all-in-one men's grooming kit that has you covered from head to toe. In the Performance Package you will receive the Lawnmower 4.0, which is a waterproof and wireless body trimmer. The Lawnmower 4.0 is all round very good and safe with the skin safe technology, which helps you reduce nicks and cuts in the most sensitive areas of your body. And one of the new additions to their collection is the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. The Weed Whacker has 360 degrees rotary blades and the same skin safe technology from the trimmer. For a limited time when you purchase the Performance Package at manscaped.com you will get 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag and the Manscaped Anti-Shaving Boxer Briefs. These boxers feature a microfiber blend which is designed to keep high friction areas cool. I've been using their products for a while and I recommend you men and gamers out there to add Manscaped to your collection to feel fresh through your day. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you use code VERF at manscaped.com. And thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. And we completed the Waterfall quest for some nice basic melee stats. And you also get 40 Mythal Seeds, which are worth quite a bit, as well as the diamonds. So you make a little bit of money doing the quest as well. Managed to get like 25k from the rewards. I also completed the Restless Ghost quest for Prey XP and I'm going to need the quest later for some other stuff. Did the Varrock Museum for some early Slayer and Hunter levels. Completed the Monk's Friend quest for some law runes and free woodcutting levels. Did Fight Arena for some early magic levels on the NPCs in the quest. And I got some more attack and thieving levels, which is always nice. Completed Imp Catcher for some easy magic XP and we got 17 magic. Completed the Rune Mysteries quest. Doric's quest for some mining levels. Witch Potion for some more easy quest points. And I completed my first Slayer task and I got a second Slayer task, which is Goblins. Pretty good task early on. Did Priest Imperial quest, I can now enter the Stinky Swamp, I got some more prayer levels, and I was able to do this quest with the stats from the Waterfall quest. I also decided to do the Nature Spirit quest for the first defense levels, and the basic stats are starting to look like something. Completed Goblin Diplomacy for some more quest points, and I completed my Goblin Slayer task in the village. And I was pretty much all prepared to do Dragon Slayer next, because Dragon Slayer gives a lot of combat XP early on. And that was the end of day 1. Started Dragon Slayer straight away and we flinched Elvark in this nice little spot here. We completed Dragon Slayer 1 for a bunch of combat XP and that got us to 35 defense, which is really nice. The next quest I decided to work on is Animal Magnetism, and it requires a few requirements and one of them is woodcutting, so decided to start the woodcutting training. Got level 15 woodcutting. 31 woodcutting for the adamant axe, and I decided to bank all the logs for some nice GP. And there's level 35 woodcutting. That wasn't too bad, pretty AFK. And from the woodcutting I managed to get an easy clue, and I always like to do clues early on, you never know what you get. It is a little bit of a risk, but it's always really fun. And it was pretty funny because this exact clue step was the first ever easy clue step I got in Runescape. So that gave some nice nostalgia. And we managed to complete the clue, and we got an Armadillo rope top, which is pretty lucky. Yeah, you never know what you get. That is a nice little 70k early GP boost on the account. I can definitely use that. So we actually made a little bit of GP doing a random woodcutting grind for a quest, so that's pretty awesome. I quickly crafted some cowhide for the 19 crafting requirement for the quest, and I decided to do some Slayer because you need 18 Slayer for the quest as well. Bought myself some full adamant armor, just some basic gear, and yeah, did some easy Slayer task and got myself the levels. Decided to take a little bit of a harder Slayer task, and I got a ghoul task, which was very manageable. Just brought a bit of food, and I got myself the 18 Slayer and some more defense levels. And the last requirement for the quest that I needed was 30 range, so I decided to do some early ranging on goblins, got myself another easy clue, and I managed to get another 13k reward, so not bad. I finished 15 ranged on goblins, and I bought myself a Waterbirth teleport tap. You can instantly use it without any requirements, and it teleports you to Waterbirth, which has some pretty nice trading spots, some early nice rock crab spots. And I decided to AFK at the rock crabs for a bit. And that was the end of day 2. AFK'd some more rock crabs for 30 range, that's a requirement for animal magnetism. And I also brought my adamant sword because I want to finish 40 defense. So I can use most of the basic ranging armor sets in the future. And I think it's a pretty good general defense level to go for early on. Got a nice 400 total level on the account. And we finished 40 defense. So all the basic prep is done. We can now do the quest and yeah, do some more range training after that. Getting the attractor and Ava's accumulator early on is pretty important, I think. Completed the Animal Magnetism quest for some nice levels as well. And we got the Ava's attractor now. So I feel officially ready to get into the range training. I always think range is a very strong early combat style. You can do quite a bit of stuff with range and make money. So that's why I decided to go with this route. And I decided to go to the sand crab spot. Brought some range pots, some green dehyde in preparation. Invested some of my GP into bolts and some armor. And yeah, ready to just chill and AFK some range and get some levels. And I finished my AFKing day. I got to a bit over 50 range, so I decided to upgrade to the blue dehyde set. And yeah, we made pretty decent progress today. 53 range, so pretty good. Another thing I decided to do on this account is to not play a ridiculous amount every day. I don't want to make it like unrealistic. You can spend your 14 days of membership playing 10 hours a day and go crazy, or you can just play a bit more casual, play a few hours a day, still make good progress. That's what I wanted to go for because I think it's a lot more realistic that way. Make the best out of your time, progress the account and also make a lot of money in the 14 days. That's the plan I got in mind. Finished AFKing sand crabs and we got 61 range, which is the goal level because that's the level needed for rune crossbow, which we're going to need later. And I decided to go for another easy clue and I got absolute shit. And the next skill I wanted to focus on was Hunter. Hunter is a pretty reliable way to make money early on and you can get some nice levels as well. So I got level 15 Hunter for butterflies. And then I caught the butterflies until level 28 Hunter. And with that level you can catch gourmet implings. And they are worth quite a bit. So I looked for a wheat field and I asked for the basic gear from the impling guy. And I decided to catch some implings for money. Got a full inventory of implings. And that is worth almost 100k. Very nice. I reinvested some of the money I got into some more Impling jars. And I decided to catch 75 more Implings. Managed to catch some more young and gourmet Implings. And that got us almost to 400,000 GP. And I'm going to reinvest that money straight away. And we are going to train some prayer in the wilderness. Bought 100 dragon bones, which should be enough for around 44-43 prayer. Which is the level I'm aiming for. And I went to the wilderness altar to train some prayer. I got attacked by Show Your Hawk on the last inventory. And this is what happened. Managed to use most of my bones just before 40 for prayer. And he probably got like 1 or 2 bones. There are PKers, but I was still pretty low level, so not too worried about it. If I did somehow lost all my bones, I would have always been able to go back to Implings and print some more money, so... And yeah, I finished my prayer goal. Protect from melee, range, magic and eagle eye all unlocked. I decided to clean my bank and spent all of the GP into a basic Revenant setup. I got myself a loot bag killing rats in the wilderness. And with the 61 range, we have a pretty decent setup to kill refs now. I quickly realized I needed 100k to enter the ref cave, so I sold some of my gear and downgraded a little bit just to have the 100k in the bank. And then once I got a few drops, I would come back and upgrade the gear again. And yeah, I had exactly enough to try some refs and see if we could get some loot. Killed some Pyrofiends and I got my first few drops. I also got a Revenant bracelet, so I quickly teleported out to sell the loot and upgrade a little bit. One really important thing doing Revenants is don't stay too long. Every time I got between 50 and 150k in loot in the loot bag, I decided to teleport out, sell it and just either reinvest or keep it for future trips if you die. I feel like a big mistake is just staying too long, being too greedy, and then if you die you lose way too much profit and time. You can just quickly teleport out with a ring of wealth or a glory, sell your stuff or bank your stuff, reskull, and then use the dual ring back to the Ferox enclave and just run to the ref caves and you're back very quickly, so... yeah, definitely don't stay too long. I got a nice taste of the early Revenants and that was the end of day 5. The plan for day 6 was just focus on Revenants and try and make a lot of early money. Completed my first trip of the day, which took like 12 minutes, and I managed to make 131k in a loot bag, so that was actually very nice. And I teleported out to secure the GP. It really surprised me how easy it is to make money here, even at low levels. Like, yes, there's a risk you die, but you make so much money. Like, even if you die a few times, you're just profiting so much money. On top of that, you also have a chance to get the weapons, the statues, some of the other rare drops. So this place is just ridiculous for GP. And I also really enjoyed it because the range trading is actually pretty decent as well doing refs. You're always using range spots, you can prey flick if you can. Just pretty good XP actually. I decided to switch spots a bit. I also sometimes decide to switch weapons. I'm not like... too sure what's best here. I've never really done Revenants too much, so it was really nice for me to experiment a bit. But yeah, I decided to buy a magic shortbow and amethyst arrows, and I decided to kill some hobgoblins, see how they were feeling compared to the Pyrofiends. Just kind of switch around spots a bit and yeah, see what works best. Ran out of arrows, so completed another trip and a pretty juicy looking loot bag. We got some dragonstone drops as well. Sold all of the loot and made another 244,000 GP. And there we go, there's a nice range level, 63. I decided to go back to the rune crossbow and dragon bolts and try and do Revenant orcs. They are a bit more tough to kill, but they have a better chance for loot, so just wanted to experiment a bit. And we got a dragon plate skirt drop, so that was a very nice drop. And I decided to teleport out straight away. That's a 267k loot bag, just like that. Another 200k loot bag. And in this clip I got TB'd and I got attacked by a PKer. And this is a very good example to always fight back. Just bolt them back, shoot them back. Try to, you know, get your praise right. But if you can't do that, in this clip, as you can see, I don't even have my prayer anymore. I'm just like fighting back, running. And I actually managed to escape because I think he found the other guy and he wanted to attack him over me. So I managed to escape. If I just died, I would have lost all my loot. But I tried to escape, I attacked back. And I managed to get away. And sometimes just attacking back and, you know, switching your prayers a bit. Sometimes people just stop attacking because they realize you're not a bot. So yeah, always try to at least make it somewhat of a fight for them. That's my advice if you get attacked by people here. I got a nice UC drop worth 130k. First decently interesting drop. 2 dragon plate legs. Beautiful drop right there. That's like 300k just like that. We are printing. Another nice looking loot bag, and we also have the first 1 million GP from refs. We also died like 2 times so far. I bought like 5 accumulators in total. But you know, that's just part of the Revenant experience. You're still making a lot of money as long as you don't risk too much. Finished a few hours of Revenants. We have like 1.8 million total on the account now, and we got some range levels as well today. So very successful day of Revenants. It is a new day. I want to do probably rest for most of the day again. Make some more GP, get some range levels. Actually really enjoyed doing refs yesterday, so going to experience it again. There we go. We got 68 range. Very nice. 2 more levels and I can upgrade to Black D height. And yeah, we got a lot of range levels here already. And we managed to get pretty lucky. We got an ancient statue worth almost 2 million GP. From a hobgoblin. I was really surprised when I got this. I thought it was worth a lot. Luckily it was only 2 mil. I was actually, yeah, pretty happy it was 2 mil and not like 10 mil plus. Because that would have been insanely lucky if I got the best statue. So yeah, the 2 mil one is pretty nice. I mean, I did spend a little bit of time at Revenants already. And that's the nice thing about Revenants. It's high risk, high reward. I'm going to do a bunch of other stuff for money later in this video. But yeah, this is the nice thing about Revenants. You can just get lucky and get a lot of GP really quickly. Even on top of the normal regular loot, that's already really good. Here's another PKer trying to TB me, and I quickly realized I wasn't TB'd and managed to teleport away, so that was pretty nice. Sold all of my loot, and I now have a total of 4.3 million GP on the account, so doing very good at Revenant so far. And that was the first week on the account completed. We managed to get a lot of skills, we got some quests completed. We almost have 70 ranged and we have 4.3 mil in the bank right now. So I think that was a very successful first week. Decided to go back to rest for a few more hours before switching it up. And there's 69 ranged. Very nice. Just gonna stack all the loot for a little bit and then sell it at the end. And I realized that the hobgoblins is actually full of bots. And if you have an account that can easily TB them and kill them, you can make a lot of money. But I just decided to mess around a bit and just kind of attack these guys. And they usually teleport away after like 4 hits. And I somehow managed to kill a bot on this really like newbie account. I mean, I got 40 defense and almost 70 ranged. So that was extremely surprising. I did include it in the video. This is not something you should expect. So it's kind of like a nice bonus. I even managed to, PK some people on this account, which I just blew my mind. But yeah, that was super hilarious. My MSB went absolutely crazy. And that was the most easy 400k I've made on this account so far. So I figured, you know what, since I'm doing refs anyways, I might find some more of these bots. And yeah, I did. And I tried my luck again. I bought some dragon knives and I managed to kill another one of these guys. So that was another like 300 or 400k loot. Unfortunately, after this, without TB, it is too good to be true. Somehow the bots were programmed to run away instantly when they saw me. My guess is they put my name on some sort of a list and yeah, the bots reacted to me. So basically every time I logged in next to a bot, they were just instantly running away with Magic Protect. So that meant I didn't really have a chance to just stand there, prepare my range hits and just spec them out because they would just instantly run away and teleport. But yeah, that was a very interesting experience. And this is a good example of something I talked about earlier. I got TB'd by someone and my guess is he was looking for bots at hobgoblins and he quickly realized I was fighting back. Obviously I wasn't able to do too much because he was just playing ranged. But at some point he just gave up and ran away. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I was switching pretty good and he thought maybe I had too much food and I would out DPS him. Or he was just not interested in trying to kill me because he was trying to kill bots. But yeah, pretty good example of why it's important to always fight back, because you never know, like, they might just run away and leave you alone. First Dragon Longsword drop I got from refs, that's worth quite a bit, almost 120k, very nice. And we escaped another PKer. And there is 70 ranged, we did 61 to 70 ranged, only killing Revenants. And I decided to sell all of my loot after getting 70 ranged. And we managed to get a total of 6.4 million GP. That is a really good result for day 8. I upgraded my gear to Black D height and I look like an absolute champion now. One skill that's really lacking is my magic level, so I decided to buy 5k splash runes. And I used it in the Ferox Enclave for level 45 magic, which unlocks most of the basic teleporting methods. And I'm going to need that later. It's the next day and I decided to work on Hunter a bit more. Hunter has a lot of potential, so I wanted to test it out and see how good it truly is. So I went to the Swamp Lizards and started grinding Hunter. And after a while I managed to get 47 Hunter for Orange Salamanders, slightly better XP per hour boost. And the goal level with Hunter is level 50 for Eclectic Implings. There was only one thing left to do before going to the Implings, and that's completing Lost City, so I have easy access to Puro. And for that I needed 31 crafting, so I decided to quickly get that cutting some gems. I bought myself 1000 Impling jars in preparation and I was all ready. Completed the Lost City quest, some nice account progress, but I can also easily access Puro and bank in Xenorus. And I got myself the 50 Hunter, very nice. I can now focus on both Eclectic Imps and Gourmet Imps, and I got the better net with me as well, so the catch rate is better. So it should be a lot faster than before. And yeah, I decided to catch a lot of Implings. And I finished my first 1000 Impling catches. Accidentally caught some baby and young imps as well, but not too much you can do about it. They're still worth quite a bit. And I mostly got Gourmet Implings, bit over 200 Eclectic as well, so that's nice. And I managed to sell everything for almost 4.2 mil. So that's a really good profit. We made a pretty nice boost in GP, we almost got 10 mil, and I decided to reinvest some of the money into Impling jars again, and go again the next day, and catch another 1000 Implings. I think the reason this is so good is because people buy Implings for clue scrolls, and no one really wants to catch these. So yeah, if you do catch them, you make a lot of money. Alright, it's the next day, we finish another 1000 Implings, roughly the same split of Implings. Got a tiny bit more Eclectics this time. And yeah, I sold all of the Implings and we made another 4.1 million GP. And we're now up to 13 million GP. We also got like 3 extra Hunter levels for free from catching all of the Implings. So yeah, pretty decent progress. So for day 12 I wanted to try a little bit different. I wanted to try a bit more of a passive money maker. So far we've done some more like high risk, high reward stuff. We did a lot of consistent stuff like the Implings. But I also want to do some stuff that I can do on the side and kind of make some money passively. And I think farming is a really good way for that. So I started out with doing the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest because it gets you the secateurs that boost your farming yield. So I completed the quest and that got us 17 farming straight away. I then decided to do some cheap farming runs to boost my farming levels a little bit. The goal level with this is level 20, so I can do another quest that gives me a lot of farming levels. I planted pretty much everything in all the patches for some nice XP. And to my surprise, you can actually sell weeds for like 200 each. So yeah, rake your weeds, guys. You can profit in your first farming run without even doing anything. And I ended the day off with completing Plague City quests so I can use the RD teleport tabs and get faster access to the farming patch in RD. And I got me 18 mining as well. So some nice quest progress again today. Trees are all finished and that is an easy 20 farming, and I also got 625 total level. And with 20 farming you can do one of the recently added quests to Zeya that gets you 10,000 farming XP. It's a really easy quest, you just have to run around and find some scrolls and stuff. So I completed that quest for 10k XP and that got me to instantly level 30. So that's a really nice boost in farming levels. With level 30 farming we also unlock willow trees, which is really easy XP. Most of the early fruit trees and normal trees are super cheap, so you might as well plant it, boost your farming levels. I had my eyes on Renner seeds and you need 32 farming for that, which I was able to get after doing all of my farming patches. And you can start making your first serious money doing farming, planting Renner seeds. I also kept farming the allotment patches. I switched to strawberries because they are worth quite a bit, so you might as well include it in your farm run, get some free levels, and also make some money with planting strawberries. And yeah, I did my first seed run and I managed to get 36 Renners. I sold everything for my first farm run to the G and I almost doubled my money, so not bad for 32 farming. The next thing I decided to do was train some construction. The goal was level 25 for the current house portal teleport. This puts your house in Zeya and puts you very close to the farming patch. Spent a little bit of GP on construction and got level 25. And I moved my house to Hosidius. The next thing I had to do to use the patch is get Hosidius favor. So I started with plowing the fields. Got myself 5% favor with that. And then made 1000 fertilizer. You can see how I set up my inventory to easily do this. And it's very cheap if you buy your own compost. It's a bit tedious to do, but it's very fast. And if you talk to the girl in Zea, you will instantly get 100% favor. You have to make like 950 buckets. I now have access to a new patch, and the nice thing about this patch is that the crops will never die. So you make guaranteed money with this patch. And I also got myself the favor for the farming guild in the future and anything else that is related to Hosidius. So I made some nice account progress too. I didn't have too much time on the last day of the 14 days, so I just decided to do some passive farming runs. I got 45 farming, which means I also have access to the farming guild now. And with that you can do contracts, which is a fun way to do some farming. Jane will assign you tasks in the farming guild, and if you complete them you can get some rewards and seed packs, which is, in my opinion, a really fun way to do farming. You just pre-plant a bunch of stuff and yeah, you can include it into your farm runs. And I just did another seed run that doubled my money. Alright, and the result of the account, we made 13.5 mil GP, which is nearly 2 bonds, so that doubles my membership. Stats are looking good, we almost got 700 total. Really happy with the farming and the ranged. You know, got some pretty decent overall stats. We did quite a bit of quests, we got 22 quests completed. How much quest points do we have? 42 quest points, pretty good. And we averaged a bit over 4 hours a day, which is, I think, pretty realistic. That includes some really AFK days, like the sand crab and rock crab days. We just AFK'd for like 2 days, just getting range levels. I also did some AFK splashing, so yeah, I think that's very good. And yeah, I got a pretty nice account going here. I can just keep doing farming runs. I can go back to rest whenever I want. I can do implings if I want. I can try some other stuff. I have that freedom now with this GP. And yeah, from here you can just keep progressing the account. Very important to keep doing quests and train skills as well, not just focus on money. And you got something pretty nice going here. Hopefully I helped some of you guys out with this video and this account. If you have any ideas with this account or want to see more stuff like this in the future, let me know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, it really helps out in the algorithm. And thank you so much for watching, everyone.